Well, hey friends, Jennifer here. This is podcast episode number 217, where we're talking about my Instagram strategy for the rest of 2021. Yes, I know we're already into April, the end of April, but we recently hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. And I wanted to share some of my Instagram strategy with you that'll hopefully help you to grow your Instagram account as we are still heading into the rest of 2021 as well. So this is podcast episode number 217. And if you're watching me on YouTube, yes, I know my hair is very straightish today. And you know, every once in a while, a girl just needs to change. Okay. That's what we're doing. So, okay. So Instagram, in case you don't know, is probably my favorite place to be hanging out right now. It feels like a lot safer place to me than Facebook. I don't know. I love connecting with people in the DMs. I love seeing when you guys like share my content. I love seeing when you guys share my podcast and you tag me. Like, I just feel like I kind of get to know people at a better, different level on Instagram than I do on Facebook. So I love being there, right? The problem is that I feel like growth is also harder on Instagram than what it is on Facebook. So that's why I want to talk about our Instagram growth strategy for the rest of the year. And then I want you to stick around to the end because I do have a free gift for you. Okay. So real quick, let me just read this podcast review from Michelle. Michelle said, I love this podcast show. I love that it's kingdom focused. Thanks for serving and teaching God's way. As a newer coach, I've chosen to pick what I learn about and who I learn from. Jennifer is for sure my person. Looking forward to diving even deeper in this year. Okay, so Michelle, I just want to first of all bless you. It looks like you are coaching people, and so I'm praying just God's blessing over you, that He would give you creative ways for you to coach people, that you would be very authentic in the way that God wired you, that the Lord would just bless everything you set your hand to, that He would go before you and also be your rear guard, and that you would just absolutely just make time to sit with Him, and that you would just feel His deep, deep, deep love for you and approval of you in Jesus' name. So I bless you with that. Okay, so let's talk about strategy that's helped the most so far. As I said, we recently just hit 100,000 followers on Instagram, and it feels like it took approximately 87 years to do that. I'm just not even going to lie. Okay, but I've got 3 main tips that I'm going to talk to you about on how I think we have gotten here. So number 1, I love doing things like collaborating with some other people on Instagram stories. So shout outs for, this friend and tagging her, and then she's doing a shout out and she's tagging me. And I'm like, you can get a lot of new followers that way. Recently there was, for instance, my friend Blake had done a post, or on her story, somebody was saying like, when is that girl named Blake and Heather Rest and Jennifer Allwood going to do a trip to Cancun together? And I'm like, I don't know, where did this story come from? But I'm here for it. I mean, I'm here for, the margaritas and sitting on the beach with 2 women who I love. And so, Heather shared that, Heather Rest did, I shared that. And it's interesting, like when you kind of cross promote other people's audiences, there's a lot of momentum that can happen because of that. And so making real life connections with other people who are in your industry, because by the way, both of these women are business women. Heather Rest is just kicking booty in the network marketing world in terms of what she's doing with oils and things. We've got the girl named Blake. My friend Blake is just kicking butt in terms of teaching women how to be authentically themselves on the internet and how to use their voice. And so, so we're all kind of doing not a similar thing, but something that's kind of semi-connected. So it makes sense for each other's audience. And it's not even that we're doing it in a manipulative sort of fashion to try to like tell my people to go follow them. But yet I am also saying, go follow them. These are some good people for you to follow. If you like my stuff, you're going to like theirs too. That is going to be really beneficial to some of you going forward in the year 2021. Now, some of you may be going, well, there's not anybody that's like got a similar size audience to me, that I know personally. Well, I don't know either of these women personally until just a few weeks ago when I met Blake in real life, met her and Bethany Ricks here at my house. But I mean, I didn't know her in real life before that. We just struck up conversations in DMs. Your DMs are powerful. I promise you they're powerful. I have a whole nother podcast somewhere just about DMs, I think. So that's one thing, is just tagging each other, kind of giving each other some shout outs. That's very powerful. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, posting consistently to my Instagram account 3 times a week. So for me, it's a lot more fun It's a lot easier to post on my stories every day. It takes a lot more like thought and intention to post to my feed. But I want to make sure that I'm really being consistent. And I have been this year and want to do that the rest of the year in terms of my Instagram strategy for making sure I'm at least 3 times a week posting on the feed. Now, listen, I don't think you have to post every day, but you do have to post well. What you are posting does need to resonate with your audience. It needs to be something that people either are going to like want to share or they're going to want to give feedback on. Gone are the days where the pretty feed rules. Good content rules on your feed. And so make sure that you're giving good content, focusing really hard on like the value that you're giving people, what you're writing for a caption down below. That's way more important than just the pretty perfect photo. I promise you. Now, if you follow me on Jennifer Allwood Home on Instagram, yes, the pretty photos are important there, because I'm showing pictures of the house, right? We will be showing pictures, of our second home as soon as we've got that and got the photos. And so those are important. But on my just regular Instagram account, still more important than perfection, and I would say even on that home account, is just really good content instead of really perfectly curated photos. Okay. So also make sure, on those posts, you are using hashtags. You can use up to 30. We never actually use that many. And I actually prefer there's different people will tell you different things. I see zero difference between when the hashtag is in the actual content of the post or when I put the hashtags in the comments themselves. I see zero difference in terms of reach on the post, number one. Number two, make sure, for me, I just like putting them down in the comments because it keeps it less junky, for lack of a better word, on the post itself. It just looks a little bit cleaner. So I do like to use the hashtags down in the comments instead of on the post itself. Okay, so that's point number 2 is to post consistently at least 3 times a week. Point number 3 is to be doing Instagram stories. I do at least 10 a day. Now, some of you are going, what the what? I just do. There's times when every once in a while, I'll take a day off, but for the most part, I am consistently on my stories every day. Okay. Why are you doing that, Jen? Well, I feel like it really builds that know, like, and trust factor. I feel like when people hear your voice, they see your face, when you're teaching them, when you're sharing things, I feel like people just get to where they just know you. They feel like they know you anymore at a deeper level, which means the next time you have something that you want to sell or you want to do a swipe up or something, it's going to make more sense because they've already resonated with you. The stories are supposed to be, the feed is supposed to be the business in the front. This is what people say. And the stories are supposed to be the party in the back. I love the party in the back, turns out. Love the party in the back. And I'm partying in the back at least 10 times a day. And so if you are not using your stories, you are missing a really great opportunity. You're missing a really great opportunity to interact with your clients. And we like to use a variety of things. So I like to use polls. I like to use the question box. I like to just ask questions. I like to do boomerangs. I like to do, still shots. I like to do the 15-second videos, but using stories is important. And it's definitely part of our Instagram strategy to grow for the rest of the year. And I think it should be absolutely for you as well. So those are the top 3 things: tagging other people that I want to collaborate with in the stories, posting at least consistently 3 times a week on the feed, and doing at least 10 stories a day. Okay, so if you're somebody who is finding it kind of hard to grow your Instagram, I want to gift you with 5 things that I think all the people who have the professional Instagram accounts are doing right now. Because I do think if you could do these 5 things, that you'll be well on your way to growing your Instagram following, which I do know is just harder than some of the other platforms. So if you need 5 tips that I think the pros are doing, and these are different than the ones we just gave here, go to jenniferallwood.com/Instagram. And I've got 5 tips for you there that I'm hoping will be beneficial. So hopefully this was a blessing to you, my friend. And so if you know somebody else who's irritated by their lack of growth on Instagram right now, first of all, I get it. And would you share this podcast episode with them? It is worth doing the work on Instagram, I promise you, because I know that it may feel like a slower crawl, but I will tell you that the people that I connect with on Instagram, I really think more of them are buyers eventually than what they even are on Facebook. I do. And if you're somebody that wants to talk at all about topics that are, they may be a little controversial or you're just not sure. Speaking about them on your Instagram stories is a way safer place than on Facebook. You can build closer relationships, meet different people, be able to connect with influencers or people who you've never met before on Instagram in a way that you just can't on the other social medias. And so I encourage you, it's worth the effort. It really is. Try those 3 tips. Go to jenniferallwood.com/Instagram, get that freebie over there, and just continue to focus on your own Instagram strategy for the year. I'm rooting for you. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.